La Alahai Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, and Mashiach Wamalaki by Hashem Harawat Wakakurash Barakathum, the water by Babal Wakwam Yasharala. Double honor to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who teach us daily. To the men out there teaching the likewise doctrine and say Shalom. They're going to get into a video whereas this, I think he's a podcaster, an Edomite, at least he looks like an Edomite. And he's got this MAGA person on the other line, on the phone with him. And they're talking about, well, the caller is talking about how the podcaster should give Trump the benefit of the doubt. And so the podcast is basically drilling him because this man does not live in reality. And that's the problem with the Edomites. They don't deal with reality. They only deal with what they want reality to be and ignoring what reality actually is. That right there makes you unfit to rule, because Edom don't deal with reality. They don't. Look at the condition of this country. If they dealt with reality, Trump would have never made it into office. If they dealt with reality, the Israelis would never have this country by the balls. If they dealt with reality, Trump would be in jail, all his affiliates would be in jail. But no, that's why I don't even trip on it when I see on the news they about to impeach him in 25th minute. I'm like, whatever, man. Wake me up when he's actually in jail, if it happens. Now, if it was somebody else, yeah, they would have locked somebody like Obama. They would have locked his ass up along. Well, they would have hung him on the White House lawn to make an example. Not their own. They don't punish their own, and they don't deal with reality. That makes them unfit to rule. So we're going to let this man drill this caller with realistic questions that he is very reluctant to answer honestly. Esau runs from the truth. He'll entertain lies and bullshit all day. Truth? Oh, I got to go. We know. So let's go ahead and get into the video. It's about 20 minutes long. I'm not going to let it play that long. I'll probably let about 8-9 minutes play maybe. But let's get this copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Let's go ahead and get the video. The name of this video is Caller Tells Brian to Trust Trump. It ends in an epic takedown. Now, I watched this whole video. It's pretty interesting about the exchanges, but I'm not going to play it all here. If y'all want to, let me go back. If y'all want to, y'all can go. Y'all can go back and watch it. I'm trying to come out of this.
Supposed to have a serious.
How the hell you get out of this? Hold on, y'all. Let me stop the share. Hold on. Let me go back, go out and come back in. Still. All right, well, the name of the video is Caller Tells Brian to Trust Trump. It ends in an epic takedown. Y'all can go back and watch the rest, but I'm going to let a couple minutes of this play.
Intellectual conversation with a man who thinks the president can do whatever he wants to, and unless it affects your family, you don't care if it affects everybody else. That's what I'm getting from this conversation, sir. Unless it affects you personally, you don't care about other people. You have proven that in this conversation.
Hey, Brian. So I came across your show recently, and I see like how hot-headed you can get, especially with supporters. But I'm just wondering, why can't you give Trump the benefit of the doubt?
Okay, so hold on. Let's stop there. Let's have a conversation. I'll be very calm for you, sir. So first of all, it's called passion. I'm a very passionate person in my personal life and my public life. And if you don't like passion and you want to watch or listen to somebody that is monotone, that is boring, then you have the opportunity to do that, sir. I find that very strange that you called in and you say, why are you so hot-headed? But I'll answer your question by saying there's a lot of people that voted for Donald Trump that are very ill-informed and that are very stupid. And let's prove me wrong in this conversation. What would you like me to give Donald Trump credit for? Should I give him credit for ending the war in 24 hours? Let's start there. Donald Trump said the war would be over in 24 hours. Even before he got into office, he would pick up the phone. Should we give him credit for that, sir? Yes or no?
No.
No. Okay, thank you. Should we give Donald Trump credit for lowering the price of gas? He said he would do it on day one. Should we give Donald Trump credit for that?
No.
No, thank you. Okay, thank you. Should we give Donald Trump?
You see how they hesitate? That what makes them unfit to rule, because Esau, his response is quicker. He's quicker on the draw with telling a lie, but he hesitates when he has to tell the truth. See, because I already understand what's going on in Esau's mind. He's going through pretty much a Rolodex in his mind, and it happens at lightning speed. What do I benefit from telling the truth? That's their first thought. If they don't benefit from telling the truth, they're gonna lie all day. Now watch the hesitation every time this man has to tell the truth. It's like he doesn't want to answer because these people don't deal with reality.
Credit for saying he was going to build a wall and Mexico was going to pay for it.
Well,
yes or no?
Come on, Ika. The borders were so safe.
Listen, don't get
safe again,
sir. Don't get hot-headed with me. Okay, calm down. It's a yes or no question. Should we give Donald Trump credit for saying he would build a wall and Mexico was going to pay for it? Don't skim around the answer. You did a great job. The first two questions, you gave me the answer. Should we give him credit for saying he was going to build a wall and Mexico is going to pay for it? And please don't be hot-headed when you answer my question.
No.
Thank you. I appreciate your honesty, sir. Thank you. We're having a very good, productive conversation here. When Donald Trump said that he was going to hire a special prosecutor to go after Hillary Clinton, should we give him credit for that? Did he do that, sir?
I forgot that was even a thing.
Yeah, well, you forgot. No. Well, okay. I'm not going to say like all the right.
They got all kinds of defense mechanisms too. They deflect. They change the subject. They try to make you guilty. They shift blame. They got all these defense mechanisms, all these little tactics, which makes them unfit to rule. Once again, I want you to pay attention to how this man hesitates before he tells the truth. He's thinking. First, he's thinking about pride. I don't want to look bad on this man's show. Well, guess what? You shouldn't have called this man's show in with bullshit. You can't make people believe your bullshit when they actually look out the window and see what's really going on. There are some people in this world that does pay attention to reality, unlike you MAGA people, where you only pay attention to your make-believe world. Your make-believe world is crumbling fast. So let's see how long you're going to continue to lie about how everything's all gravy. Let's roll.
Wingers say about Joe Biden that you have Alzheimer's, but yes, sir, I'll be respectful to you. He did do that. So Donald Trump did say he was going to do those things. In fact, he ran on those things. So why should I give him credit? What would you like me to? I'll give you the opportunity now, sir, since you're answering my questions, which I do appreciate. What do you think I should give him credit for?
Not as much credit as a benefit of the doubt, because that he's doing so many things that they attacked him.
What is he doing?
About
what is he doing?
Before.
What is he doing?
Particularly the economy, tariffs.
The economy. Doge. Okay, let's talk about that. Doge. Let's go one by one. The economy. What is the GDP growth since Donald Trump was day one in office? Have we grown the economy since he's been in there? The answer
no,
is no.
It's shrunk.
The answer is no. Okay, so I'm not going to give him credit for tanking the economy, and I'm not going to give him credit for tariffs, but because it's also the American consumers are suffering for it. But that's okay. Let's talk about tariffs. They said 90 deals in 90 days. Since you want me to give him the, quote, benefit of the doubt, how many deals has he made since he's been in office? They said 90 deals in 90 days. How many deals have been made?
No, he made, as far as I know, 3. One
No.
with Vietnam, the United Kingdom,
No.
and
No.
No.
So I would argue that with you, but even if that was true, he said 90 deals in 90 days. Should we give him the benefit of the doubt? Was he telling the truth?
well, no,
Okay,
on
thank
there.
you.
But
I appreciate.
but can I go about what I mean by benefit of the doubt overall? Because
sure.
there was actually they right before you actually had him and you had Elon Musk saying that they actually admitted early on that yes, there was going to be temporary hardship, but what would come after would be so much better.
Let's talk about that.
This is the wealthiest man. This is the wealthiest man on earth.
No, he's not.
This is Donald Trump, one
Okay.
who's one who's actually gone through.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
So many hearts of bankruptcies, so many losses, and then one.
Let's talk about Elon Musk. Let's talk about that. So they said they found all this fraud. Help me with this, sir, if you may. Is fraud a crime in the United States of America?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for answering that. How many people have they indicted or arrested? Where's the fraud? Have they sent any recommendations to the DOJ? Can you tell me, has there been one arrest?
No, but what about the wall of receipts?
Okay. Hold on a second. You said what about, but I'll still answer your question. But I just want to be clear on this. It sounds like you're trying to compliment Doge because you said the economy. We just proved that the economy is not, headed in the right direction. It's not true. I've had brilliant economists on this show, most of whom say that we are headed for a recession. So I don't know why you'd brag about the economy. That doesn't make any sense to me. We talked about the lies and the things that he promised to do that he hasn't done. I give you credit for admitting that and being honest. I appreciate that. And now we're talking about Elon Musk because you seem to be praising the richest man in the world. And yet, in Doge, you mentioned Doge. That was the third thing, right, sir? And
right.
Fraud is a crime. They've claimed first they saved $2 trillion. Then it went down to $1 trillion. Then it went down to $140 billion. They can't even prove they saved $140 billion. They keep saying that they found all this fraud. Fraud is a crime. We both agree on that. But yet they haven't indicted one person for fraud. So how can
Oh, Salakia for that. But see how these people are so naive, or I would say, I need to get some water. Well, I'm gonna finish this. These people are willfully ignorant just to say Trump is on the right side of the law. All the fraud is committed by your government, in case you haven't figured it out yet, people. These are the most fraudulent, lying ass people you will ever meet in your life. Thieves, this is what they are. And they lie about everything. So the only fraud that's taking place is all the money that the government is stealing from the people to give to Israel. And that goes across the board, all the way from child support, Title 44D. It goes all the way back to this major fund that ICE has. All of it is all of it. That's why the law finna burn it down. It all has to go. There's no fixing this with voting. Voting is fake. So how you gonna fix this with a fake voting system? No. Anything that's controlled by Esau has to go. Everything involving Esau has to go. That's the only way to really purge this earth of everything this man has done. That's the only way to purge this earth from everything this man has did, as far as destruction, destroying the earth, the water, the air, the soil, the people, the plants, the animals. All his philosophies, his lies, his whitewashing of history. It all has to go. And at the end of Esau's 1,000 years of slavery, he has to go. That's the only way to wipe the slate clean. He has to go. All his systems, all his bullshit has to go.
You say that Doge has done a good job, and if you care, and I'm going to believe you because you are answering my questions, which I appreciate, by the way. Most people don't. If you care about wasteful spending, then why wouldn't you be complaining about Donald Trump spending $25 million of our own money so that he could go to the Super Bowl and leave at halftime or go to a Daytona 500? You know, why wouldn't you complain about him giving Ashley Babbitt's family taxpayer dollars, $5 million for a terrorist, for a traitor, who went and stormed into the Capitol and lost her life because of her stupidity? If you truly care about that, why wouldn't you be with me and call it out? There is no massive fraud going on. They haven't indicted anybody. What is there to give him credit for? Why would I give somebody the benefit of the doubt when all they do is lie? The guy is the only guy in American history who won't admit that he lost an election as president. Why would I give somebody like that the benefit of the doubt who lied literally 30,000 times his first go around in office? Why would I give somebody the benefit of the doubt who's burned the Constitution up, who's not giving people due process? Why would I give somebody the benefit of the doubt who hasn't been honest and sincere and with one of the ladies that has ever been in his life? Why would I give somebody the benefit of the doubt like that who lies every day?
So first off, I mean, the due process thing is towards illegal immigrants.
See, this guy, on the caller on the other end, he will never admit the truth. These people, they delight in lies. They want you to come into their false world as far as everything they believe. They believe they're great people. The rest of the planet says otherwise, MAGA. So which reality are you living in? You living in your little bubble, or you living in reality? You're not. That's what makes you unfit to rule. You refuse to deal with reality. You refuse to acknowledge truth, and you will lie until you die. This man will never admit that Trump is a compulsive, impulsive liar. He will never admit Trump is a criminal. And I'm not just saying that. It's on his court records. He's a 34-count felon. Anybody who has 34 felonies, they said F the law a long time ago. But this caller, this cult member, would never admit this. That's why they have to go.
Not true. What does it say in our Constitution? What does it say in our? You don't even know, do you, sir? I'm going to read.
But yeah, actually, 5 and 14 says no person.
Right, and as a person, right?
We're in that gray area.
No. I'm not going to let you get away with that. That is not a gray area. They could have said legal or illegal. They could have said document or undocumented. They said person. Now, let me ask you a question. Is it a person that is being not given due process? Would you consider that a person? Yes or no? Is it a human being? Is it a person?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. In our Constitution, it says any person. So don't you give me this, with all due respect, this garbage about how, well, you know, if you're illegal, you don't get due process. That is not the way our Constitution reads it, and that's not the way this country works. And by the way,
but we're fixing a crisis. It's a border crisis.
So you think fixing a crisis is giving people no due process, and a mother that is breastfeeding her 1-year-old child and separated? You think this is the process to send people to an El Salvador prison with no due process, some of whom have no criminal records? One man who's a hairstylist who has 2 tattoos on his body, and they said the tattoos are why we sent him over there. And you know what those 2 tattoos are? Mom and dad. You think that's how we handle a crisis? By giving people no due process and throwing people out of our country with 0 due process, many of whom...
It's not your country, first of all. Edomites are immigrants as well. So how you gonna throw indigenous people out of a country when you're not even from that land? You see how unjust Esau is? This man is very greedy and covetous. He wants everything to himself. He don't want you to have shit. Unfit to rule. You gonna come over here, and it's like the apostles and the elders said, you will never have justice on stolen land from thieves. You can forget it. That's why they have to go.
That are non-violent criminals. You're okay with that, sir?
Well, the Department of Justice said that Abrego Garcia, the Department of Justice official website said he was a criminal.
Okay, so but where was that proven in a court of law? Where was that proven in a court of law?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry.
Nowhere.
Exactly. Thank you. Hence,
I mean, the Supreme
Court,
but
just because no. Oh, you want to talk about the Supreme Court? I am so glad you mentioned that. Okay. By the way, none of those people got due process. Who cares what somebody says on a website? The Supreme Court ruled 9-0 that Donald Trump needs to help, quote, facilitate the return of Mr. Garcia. Since you care so much about the Supreme Court, since you just brought it up, are you okay with the President of the United States defying the Supreme Court? Yes or no?
I care about winning.
No. Don't deflect.
See that deflection? See, he caught him. He on his shit. Yeah. He might be a confusion of face because he is drilling him with nothing but righteousness and truth. He might be a speckled bird right here.
Don't deflect. No. The question wasn't whether you think Trump is winning. I need you to focus. Don't deflect. You're the one who just brought up the Supreme Court. I'm going to ask you the same question again. I don't care whether you defy Donald Trump is winning or not. That wasn't my question. I need you to pay attention, sir. I'm not being hot-headed. I'm being as calm as I can, but I start to get agitated when people don't answer my questions. We were off to a really good start. Please, let's not go south. You brought up the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled 9-0 that Donald Trump and his administration must facilitate the return of Mr. Garcia. Are you okay with the President of the United States defying the Supreme Court, yes or no?
Yes.
See, there it is. There it is. This cult member will follow Trump right into the fire, the nuclear fire, and this cult member will follow Trump right into captivity, blindly. See? Let's go. Let's see his reaction.
Did you just say yes?
Yes.
So the president is above the law. The president can do no.
They've already have with immunity.
No. You're wrong. The immunity does not apply to a court ruling. You're not allowed to defy court orders. You're not allowed to defy judges, and you're not allowed to defy the Supreme Court. So you're wrong. You don't even understand what the immunity applies to. So you're okay. What you just said is so amazing to me because I guess that's your definition of winning. You're okay with the president of the United States, no matter who it is. It doesn't matter what a judge rules. It doesn't matter what the Supreme Court rules. You're okay with the President of the United States ripping up our Constitution, not giving people due process when the Constitution clearly says every person will get due process. You're okay with the President doing whatever the hell he wants to do. You think that's winning, defying every court, and you're okay with whatever the Supreme Court rules on. You're okay that the President defies that. That's what you're saying, right, sir?
Hey,
sir,
sounds bad, but
sir, it doesn't just sound bad. You sound ridiculous, and I'm trying to be as respectful as I can to you. You have
okay. We can come out of this. Yeah, it's heating up. I went 11 minutes. I went over my limit. But yeah, man, y'all go back and watch that, man. He drilled his ass the whole 20 minutes. That right there was a prime example of attitudes amongst the MAGA cult. And it's not just Edomite MAGA. You got black MAGAs. You got Latinos for Trump. They've talked like this. Trump can do no wrong. And then you wonder why you in the position you in. Let's get some scriptures. Let me see, let's go to, I think it's Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 12. Verse 15. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. A fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame. Verse 22, lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight. Now let's go to, where is it? It's like it's Psalms. That's all right. We got some meat out of there too. Psalms chapter 12, verse 8. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. So if you got the vilest man in the middle being exalted, that's Trump. He's surrounded by the wicked. And part of that protective circle, besides his lying ass administration, is MAGA. Now they are dwindling by the numbers by the day, but you still have that attitude out there that Trump can't do no wrong. He hit it right on the head because you still got goofies that's suffering under his policies, still defending him. That's the dumbest shit I ever seen. You suffering, but I heard so many Edomites come out and say, yeah, I lost my farm, but if I could vote for him again, I'd vote for him again. You obviously didn't learn the first time, did you? I guess not. Okay. Well, Edomites are slow. You see what I'm saying? And he only said that out of pride, too. Because with that statement, he was actually saying he would never vote for a so-called black woman, even though she's not so-called black. That pride, well, it's like they say in the real world, racism is expensive because it costed this idiot his farm, and he still ain't learned shit behind it. Let's go to what's the Psalms, chapter 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Verse 4. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Yeah, these people, when they hear truth, they like little kids. La, 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 la. They don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to deal with truth. They don't want to deal with reality. And then you wonder why you in the situation you in this country. Like I said, because right now, you know what they doing overseas? They tearing up Paris. They tearing up Poland. Yeah, they tearing the club up in Europe. You know why they pissed off? Because of a corrupt government. See, y'all ain't got that kind of fire in y'all over here, though. Not that it's going to do any good, because the Lord going to destroy this place anyway. But it just says something about Edomites. They just learned, only thing Edomites learned was image. How to look tough, how to look smart, how to sound smart. But they're really not smart. They're really not brave. They're really not courageous. They just want you to think they are. If they were brave and courageous and intelligent, Trump would have never made it to office. He's not a politician. First of all, he's a failed reality actor, a failed real estate agent, a failed, what else you want to do? How many businesses has he drove into the ground between 20 and 30? With money that was given to him. You can't flip millions of dollars. You ain't got no business doing business. But he says he can make any deal. Boy, shut up. You don't, nobody respects you. If somebody gave you millions of dollars and you can't flip it, you ain't got no business in the business world. This man like to talk like he know it, like he know what he talking about. No, that shit don't work. Not on the wise, not on the critical thinkers. MAGA ate the shit up twice. They ate it up the first time he ran for office, and they ate it up again the second time. So yeah, if you can't flip millions of dollars that was given to you, you have no business doing business with nobody. And Trump is just that idiot to prove that theory. Let's go to the book of Job, verse 8. They were children of fools, yeah, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. That came out in the Epstein files, how vile they really are. And these are the top notch, these are the top tier Edomites, so-called. So if the top tier doing this shit, I know you underlings are really doing some nasty shit. Matter of fact, let's get it in the book of Sirach. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. That's why so many pedos are being caught or discovered, I would say. They ain't going to jail, they're just being discovered. That's why you got so many liars being discovered, corrupt businessmen being discovered, because they just like their top tier Edomites. The elites, yeah, they just like that. Just on a smaller scale. And he dogging out his own MAGA code. So it's just like he said, let's go back to Sirach. And these idiots still support him. Like I said, like I just read in Job, they are children of fools. Let's go to chapter 14. Verse 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom shall he be good? He should not take pleasure in his goods. There is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is a recompense of his wickedness. And if he doeth good, he do it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness. The envious man have a wicked eye, he turneth away his face, and despiseth men. A covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion, and the iniquity of the wicked driveth up his soul. Yeah. So you need to reevaluate what values you have left, if you have any at all, MAGA. Because it don't matter what y'all do anyway. It don't matter. This place still gonna be destroyed, and Edom and the rest of these nations are still going into captivity. I'm just doing this video as a testament to how foolish Edomites are. So your foolishness, there's no way you can be fit to rule, because you people turn a blind eye to an Edomite's wickedness and lie on the righteous. Let's get that one. Book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 15. He that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the just, even they both are an abomination unto the Lord. This man was defending Trump as best as he could, but the podcaster was hitting his ass with facts, and he can bob and weave fast enough. See what I'm saying? So he was justifying Trump's wickedness. He's abomination all day. Let's go to the book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 25. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. All them illegal ass executive orders. Yeah. MAGA didn't bat an eye. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. He shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He destroyed a lot of y'all lost y'all farms without the government even firing a shot. And by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand, because these idiots gonna try to fight the Lord. Like the idiots they are. And I don't even need to tell you how this gonna turn out. Miserable. Let's get this one. Call halal. Call Allah Yimla Lahai now. How about Shimmy How Shot 414? Let's get this script. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 13, verse 23. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue and look at what he saith. They extol it to the clouds. But if a poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. Yeah. They believed all the lies Trump came with because he's so-called rich. He's only rich in blood money, stolen money, corrupt money. That's why he's catching hell. And everybody that's got blood money, corrupt money on them, they're not happy. You know why? Because of this right here. You can't enjoy it. You too worried. Isaiah chapter 48, verse 22. There is no peace, said the Lord, unto the wicked. That's why you can't enjoy blood money. You can't enjoy drug money. You too worried about getting caught. No peace. You can't sleep. You scared that the folks gonna kick in your door. You scared of the feds coming to get your ass, or you scared of getting robbed. You can't enjoy the money. That's why it's called blood money. And that is all the United States has. That's why there's no peace unto the wicked, Babylon. But yet these people still continue to steal and rob. And then they wonder why they can't enjoy the money. You too worried about retaliation, revenge, to enjoy anything. Let's go to the book of Daniel. Chapter 4, verse 17. This matters by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and give it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over it, the basis of men. Now, when I say the basis of men, talking about Esau, because this man is driven on, he's all emotion, no brakes. He's too impulsive to be a critical thinker, unfit to rule. Impulsive emotions, that's all this man is running on. Jealousy, envy. This is all this man's filled with. Let's go to the book of Psalms. Verse 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? That's the United States government in a nutshell. Because it's all rooted in emotion. All these laws against so-called black people that ain't did shit to you. Emotionally driven. That's why we say Esau doesn't rule this world. His emotions do. Miscegenation laws, y'all remember them? where the so-called black man couldn't marry a so-called white woman, that was emotionally rooted. And Esau's women will tell you today that they are very, very, very envious of us. And they show it, they lash out, they like children. Verse 21, they gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood. Innocent blood, exactly. They ain't nobody did shit to them. They just roll up in the middle of the night with their burning crosses and their emotions and their lives. That's why the Lord finna get rid of them after 1,000 years captivity. Oh, we already got that one. Go to Isaiah, Salaam. Isaiah, the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us? They still think they slick. Obviously, MAGA didn't catch them, because MAGA still defending them, even though it's costing MAGA their whole livelihood. They don't care. You know why they still defend him? Because he's white. That's why. But if it was Kamala Harris, they would have nailed her Indian ass to the wall. Because she's a darker complected person. Not so-called black. She's not an Israelite. Her dad is Indian. Her dad is an Elamite. Her mother is a Benjaminite, I think. But it's all about the father's seed, not the mother's womb. Let me see. I think we about done. Check this out. This is a reincarnation of Egypt. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts. It happened before in Egypt, and it's happening again here. Trump is the most corrupt president this world has ever seen. Not that presidents are righteous, but he really pushed the envelope on it. He said, you know what, I ain't hiding shit. Let them get mad, because he knows that this is the end of America. It's prophetic, and the fake Jews making him destroy his own kingdom. And he's doing it like the dumbass that he is. Who the hell would betray their whole country, commit treason? Because they are too afraid to go to jail for some pedo shit. Think about it like this. The Israelis wouldn't have none of these politicians by the balls had you not been over there committing that wickedness on that island. They wouldn't have shit on you. So yeah, it's time for this place to fall. So yeah, that cult member defending Trump, he gonna follow Trump right into the fire, just like all the rest of the idiots. And you know what else? If they survive, they're gonna follow Trump his ass right into captivity as well. And ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for you. Matter of fact, that's the only place we feel safe with you being at in slavery, in chains. That's the only way the whole world gonna feel safe again. They out here releasing ticks. Ain't nobody saying shit. Wait till they catch up to Bill Gates' punk ass. They gonna hang his ass, I promise you. We can get a couple more and close. Let's go to Jeremiah. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49. Verse 7, concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? His counsel perished from the prudent, is their wisdom vanished? They never had wisdom because the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. And the caller made that very evident that there's no more wisdom in Teman. Verse 10, but I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, his neighbor, and he is not. Because he the one doing the spoiling. Spoil means to rob. His seed is spoiled. That means he robbing his sons, he robbing his brethren, and he robbing his neighbors. Pretty much he robbing the citizens. These people have secretly declared war against you, had been at war secretly against you, but every president has got behind that podium and addressed the citizens of this country as my fellow Americans. Line off the rip when they have declared war against you. That's a cowardly move in itself. Secretly declaring war, attacking people at night. That's some fuck shit, man. This man is unfit to rule, and the Lord finna do something with his ass. He finna lock him up. He finna lock him down. He finna make his ass work for 1,000 years. And after that, his ass gonna be up out this bitch. And we can't wait because Esau, you are exhausting. Call Halayim La Lahai Now Yahweh. By Hashem Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, Wa Malakia by Hashem Harawat Kakorash. Rakathum, the water by Babawa Kwam Yasharala. Shalom.